Hello guys, I am Agathor and welcome to a guide to cultivation in DayZ 0.58. Otherwise known as farming, horticulture or simply growing plants, cultivation will likely become the best source of food in DayZ as developers reduce the amount of food that spawns around the map, and that will probably happen soon. So knowing how to keep your plants healthy and producing a high yield of food, or in the future medicine, will be very beneficial knowledge, especially if you have a camp. As always with my guides, let's start with the basics. In order to start growing anything in DayZ, you need a hole to plant your seed in, giggity. Greenhouses can be used as plots but hold no additional benefits compared to creating your own plot, which must be done on a fairly flat surface away from objects. In order to create a plot or even a hole, you will need either a farming hoe, pickaxe, shovel, field shovel or ice axe. With one of these items in hand, aim down at a grassy texture to create a plot or dig out a hole. Now each of these tools degrades at exactly the same speed, so the ice axe, because it's the smallest, is the most efficient tool to use out of the 5, but the farming hoe and shovel are much more common found in farm type buildings. Each of these tools can create 20 plots from pristine to ruined or 200 holes from pristine to ruined, meaning that creating a plot damages any one of these tools 10 times more than digging a hole, so having a few amount of plots is recommended to preserve your tools. Once you've dug a hole, you can plant a seed in it by looking at the hole with a seed in your hand. Alternatively, you can look at the plot itself to rapidly plant 9 seeds. The different types of seed are pumpkin, pepper, tomato or zucchini, commonly found in industrial locations like sheds or greenhouses. Seeds spawn in a packet, so you will need to empty the packet to get the seeds, and how many seeds you get is based on the quality level of the seed packet itself. Pristine and worn gives you 10 seeds, while badly damaged and damaged gives you either 8 or 9 seeds. Once you've planted a seed, you will need to water it with either a canteen, PET bottle, cooking pot or gasoline canister, unless it's raining. The canteen waters up to 4 plants, the PET bottle waters 5, the cooking pot waters 10, and the gasoline canister can water a little over 100 plants. But because the gasoline canister is so large, I'd recommend using the cooking pot for watering plants. As soon as your seed has been watered, it will begin stage 1 plant growth. Now the time it takes to go to stage 2, when you first see the plant that is how long each stage after that it will take. So if it takes 3 minutes for the zucchini plant to go from stage 1 to stage 2, each stage after will be exactly 3 minutes each. Seeing as there are 5 stages to plant growth, 5 stages of growth times 3 minutes is 15 minutes of plant growth until it becomes fully grown. Based on growing over 200 plants and calculating how long each stage took, here are the average times I got without fertilizer. With fertilizer, each stage of growth is reduced by roughly 1 minute 30 seconds, so with fertilizer, plants grow 40% faster. On top of this, as shown here, you get a higher yield with all of the plants but the pumpkin plant when you use fertilizer. So fertilizer is well worth using and is commonly found in sheds and greenhouses. But you can make your own fertilizer in a barrel using guts and plant material. Just make sure that you have plant material at 100% each time you go to craft fertilizer so that you get a 10% bag each time. Guts can be cut out of fish or animals with a knife, and plant material can be gathered by removing plants or collecting crops. The more the plant has grown, the more plant material you will get, with diseased plants giving you the most amount of plant material. But if you're not after plant material, you will most likely want to avoid getting diseased plants. Plants that are diseased are fairly easy to spot. You will see bugs like this on the leaves. If the bugs remain on the leaves, the plant will immediately become rotten once it hits the final stage of growth. To kill these bugs, you will need to spray the plant with disinfectant using 3% of the disinfectant spray. Any plant that is sprayed with a disinfectant is guaranteed to not become diseased while it's growing. This means you can spray a plant after it's been watered to guarantee it will become healthy once it's fully grown. However, nothing can prevent a plant from becoming rotten eventually. Once a healthy plant reaches the final stage of growth, it takes between 20 and 40 minutes for that plant to rot, disappearing shortly after rotting. In knowing this, we can plant our seeds, water them, spray them with disinfectant, and return roughly 30 minutes later to reap the rewards of being a lazy farmer. When you've successfully harvested your first crop, you can cut the seeds out of the produce with a knife and grow your next batch. Which plant type you grow is up to you, but here are the total energy, hydration and volume stats each plant produces with fertilizer. This chart shows us that if you want energy, grow pumpkins, and if you want hydration, grow tomatoes. As for the future of cultivation in DayZ, we will likely see the return of the potato, the growing of cannabis, and cooking plants to create medicine or advanced food, along with pesticides only being crafted inside a barrel. Thank you for watching. Server restarts remove all of your plants, and I will leave you with the dangers of growing plants at greenhouses.
Bye, bitch.